Hi and welcome back to my channel. In this video we're going to be looking at what are their hidden thoughts and secret feelings about you and the connection. So there are three groups to choose from. Group 1 is the Mookite Jasper heart, along with this card. Group 2 is the Aventurine heart, along with this card. And group 3 is the Ocean Jasper heart, along with this card. So if you want to take a moment to center, focus on your breathing, and feel whichever group, maybe multiple groups, or perhaps all of the groups that you're most drawn to. I'll give you a minute to make your selection and then we'll get right into it. And there are timestamps for each group in the description box of the video if you would like to jump ahead. Hi, Group 1. You chose the Mookite Jasper heart. So we'll take a look at this card at the end. These cards have like a little poem in the book that go along with the imagery, the artwork on the cards. So that can be kind of like a final thought, a poem from this person's higher self to you. So I'm going to start off with some oracle cards to see what are their secret thoughts and hidden feelings about you and the connection. Okay, so we have the gift, communication gift, crystals. So I feel that this person is really, they're seeing the connection, the bond between you as a gift in their life. They may have taken you for granted in the past, Or there's also a sense of this person maybe not telling you when they had the opportunity just how much you mean to them. Some time may have passed since you have last seen this person, or some events have taken place in their life, which is causing them to either be reminded of you, reminded of the connection, maybe thinking back on something that you said, some bit of wisdom that was imparted, a seed planted within them at one point in time that is now germinating. It's making sense. It's providing them with some strength and clarity for whatever it is that they are going through in their life. And it's instilling a sense of gratitude for having crossed your path in this lifetime, for the words that you have spoken. And it's also creating this desire to kind of remedy any difficulties between the both of you, to resume communication. This person may also want to reach out with some kind of a gift, even an offering of an apology, some kind of olive branch, or some kind of literal gift, maybe flowers. Or if you're a spiritual person, somebody who's into the metaphysical, this person may recognize you as someone who would receive a crystal as a gift and would be very touched by that. Maybe a rose quartz, something to do with love and very high vibration. And we also have the Morrigan, power, courage, strength. So this person is recognizing you as somebody very strong, somebody very self-assured, somebody who has this inner knowing, this soul knowing. They're seeing you as somebody who has overcome a lot of challenges in your life. They're really looking to you as an example of what you went through, what it took to really rebuild yourself from the ashes, rebuild your life from the ground up, perhaps. And again, that energy of some things they may be going through in their own circumstances, and they're really looking to you as an example of kind of the proper attitude of surrender to take. The inner courage that is necessary to harvest from within, to really bring up from within, to face obstacles, to face challenges with the knowing that they are ultimately for our highest good, to help to kind of let go of mindsets or lifestyles or people or behavior patterns that are no longer serving us, and to step more in alignment with our higher calling, our purpose in this lifetime, that challenges can actually be blessings in the form of, again, kind of a means to unearthing some of that strength that we possess within, the opportunity to really hone some of those abilities to overcome, to adapt, to face challenges head on, to move through fear, and to strive for the truth of our heart and our soul. This energy of perseverance, this is something that this person is really recognizing in you. This also, as it relates to this connection, they're gaining a lot of strength from the energetic bond between you. Again, some things might be going on in this person's life right now, some challenges, some tower moments. They could be in the midst of a dark night of the soul, a lot of things changing for this person. And they could be either consciously or even unconsciously kind of going within, connecting with you on an energetic level, at the higher self level, at the soul level, and really deriving a lot of strength from that. This empowerment, this encouragement, this rejuvenation to keep pressing forward, to keep moving through these difficulties and obstacles in order to really recognize and reap the fruit of rewards that lie on the other side of that. And we also have celestial, cosmos, creation, spiral. So this to me is really speaking, first of all, if you resonate as a star seed with this reference to cosmos here, this can be a confirmation of that for you. But this is also really, I feel, talking about this person recognizing kind of the higher love nature of this connection, that the bond between the both of you, maybe some telepathy that's going on, or just some things that are being revealed to them in their own life. They're recognizing how the bond that they shared with you in the past and still share with you, it's very extraordinary. It's something that's very out of the ordinary. It's very much outside of the scope and the realm of other interactions that they've had in their life, other relationships that they've had in their life. There's this urge to almost strive for more, to reach for more, to not settle for mediocrity or discomfort in their life. But with this reference to the spiral, to kind of go through this process of breaking some cycles, releasing some habits, patterns, belief systems, people in their life that are kind of holding them back, holding them down, not really encouraging them to step forth into that best version of self, into that authenticity. And so there's again this feeling of kind of looking to you in the ways in which you have really worked to kind of ascend your life to the next level, to really step into that best version of self, a glow up that you may have had, really rising through some challenges, through some adversity, and recreating yourself, redefining yourself, expanding your world, your perceptions, expanding your light in the world. Any ways that you may have in the past kind of held yourself back or watered yourself down or kind of kept your truth hidden, this person is recognizing that you have gone through some kind of a shift, a profound shift, where you are more in alignment now with the truth of who you are. You're very unapologetic in the way in which you are in the world, in which you meet challenges and which you receive blessings in this life. And it's something that this person is, again, really trying to kind of mimic that same energetic tendency in their own way and for their own unique circumstances, of course, and for who they are as an individual. But it's something that the template that you have displayed to them, either literally in terms of what they are, what they're seeing as they've kind of followed the progression of your journey, or what they're picking up on energetically, this is really inspiring them to create something more out of their life, to break out of patterns of mediocrity, anywhere they were just settling, any kind of toxicity that they were trapped in, kind of codependency, maybe some one-sided relationships. There's also a sense here where this person, if you are you've been in a cycle with this person of almost like a runner-chaser dynamic. You've both had some things that you need to heal and overcome on your own, and so it's kind of thrust you into these periods of separation to do that internal work on your own. There's this desire that this person has to kind of end that cycle, end the cycle of silence, of non-communication, of distance between the both of you, and to create an energy of coming back together, of co-creation in a way that may not have been possible before, of really a blending of both of your energies, of your experiences, your wants, your needs, your goals. This person really recognizing a compatibility with you, seeing that really also maybe recognizing in the connection how things flow really well with you, really seamlessly. You both understand each other on multiple layers. And there's this familiarity to you that is really calling them back home, basically. It's calling them to step away from the inauthentic and move more toward the core of their truth, the core of their soul, what really resonates with them, which in a large way energetically is you and this connection. So I'm actually going to get some tarot first to get some more clarification about this for you. Group 1, what are this person's hidden thoughts and secret feelings about you and the connection? Okay, so we have the Six of Wands. So this can really talk to this urge that this person has to kind of overcome some shadows, some fears within themselves, maybe a fear of rejection, to kind of move beyond any difficulties that you both may have experienced in the past and move toward more harmony within the connection. It feels like somebody who is really in this process of moving toward more harmony within themselves, self-acceptance, and really, recognizing their own talents and abilities, not really being so dependent on maybe the opinions or the praise of other people, but just really shining that light of truth that is within them, for the sheer purpose of doing that. Because to do otherwise, I feel that this person may have been in that pattern for a while of really kind of stifling themselves, watering themselves down, maybe hiding the truth of who they are to a certain extent. And there's this urge to really kind of burst forth with that. And inclusive in that is sort of this truth of their feelings for you, which this person may have kind of hidden in the past or suppressed in the past, maybe out of this fear of, what other people would think of that, some particular circumstances in your situation where they were, worried that other people might not approve of the relationship, or, that they could be kind of the subject of gossip or ridicule. And this could have been something in the past that really held them back, really limited them in terms of exploring their feelings. But there's this sense of, breaking out of that pattern of people pleasing and being so concerned about the opinions of others, really recognizing that fear that was holding them back from wish fulfillment. And this process, at least at the internal level at this point, but for a lot of you, this person is actively engaged in this process in their physical world of kind of standing up for themselves, declaring the truth of who they are, really reclaiming their autonomy, presenting themselves in a very authentic manner despite what others may say. So we also have the Nine of Wands. So this can speak to somebody who, has again gone through a lot of trials and tribulations, a lot of things really falling apart, coming to the surface, some kind of shadowy aspects of this person in their life, maybe people or circumstances around them that they are in this process of really having to face those fears right now, overcome these things. This feels like somebody who has been in the process of almost an internal battle, as well as maybe some conflicts in terms of even what they are doing for a living versus what they are called to do by their soul, or feelings that they have for you, which might be contrary to what their friends and family envision for them as kind of the perfect partner. And this imagery here, and we've got this person, and he seems to be kind of at the forefront, kind of the victor in this battle, and then there's these other figures back here. So this can really relate to the opinions of other people, or lifestyle choices, maybe a friend circle that this person was keeping that was just causing them to remain really low vibrational, maybe, not really acting upon some interests or some goals or dreams that they had, for this desire to really, fit in with the crowd, fit in with others, not really want to deviate from that, break from the herd. But, this seems like somebody who is in this process of really recognizing how they're only depriving themselves of joy and happiness by playing small with their life, by trying to fit into a box that others have established for them, that it's really, it's limiting their experience and their potential in this lifetime. So this person is, again, kind of in this process of working through all of that, some difficult things that may need to be let go of, or that they're in the process of kind of moving away from. And we also have the Seven of Wands. So this can talk about somebody who's really having to defend their, the truth of who they are. Maybe even defend the fact that they have feelings for you. And you could be a partner that is quite contrary to what their family or their friends or even their culture or their religion has dictated as the appropriate choice. And at one point in time, this person may have really deferred to that, maybe really went in line with that. Kind of turned away from this connection in the interest of finding somebody who would be more suitable and more acceptable to other people in their life or in their culture or in their religion. But something is shifting within this person where they really are stepping into their truth. They're speaking with their own voice. There's this desire that they have to, speak this out, to speak this truth, to make this known, where their feelings truly lie, what resonates with them truly versus what they may have been taught or templated to believe is the path to happiness and contentment and fulfillment in this life. And we also have the Knight of Wands. So this can speak about, this surge of passion within this person that they are keeping hidden, but there is this desire to kind of carry this forth, to make this declaration, perhaps make some kind of a public declaration of their feelings for you, where they may have kept that kind of hidden or repressed in the past. They're thinking about this. They're thinking about coming forth with this offer to you, acting upon this, taking a chance on this connection, where in the past they, may have, again, kind of played small, played into the expectations of others. And we also have the Page of Swords. So this can talk about somebody who is daydreaming about you, thinking about you a lot, or even watching you from afar. This feels also like somebody who is really kind of imagining and planning what your life can look like together. This also feels like somebody who is really thinking about both the positive and negative aspects of speaking this truth, making this declaration known, standing in that authenticity, despite any perceptions or actuality of disapproval from others in their life and how that may look. Maybe moving toward this connection or stepping into that authenticity. This could be very costly for them in terms of relationships with their family, maybe a living situation, maybe something to do with their job, just multiple areas of their life that would need to kind of crumble and fall away in order for something that resonates more deeply with the truth of who they are to be birthed, to really come forth out of that ash, out of that rubble. And so it's something that this person they're giving a lot of thought to. This can also, with this Page of Swords, talk about strategizing, thinking about what that's going to look like, a plan of action, instead of just rushing in with this Knight of Wands, very headstrong and very impulsively. This is somebody who is exercising a certain degree of restraint at this point in time to kind of weigh all these options, to really make a plan of action, kind of an escape plan almost, maybe for some people out of some of these circumstances, to create this backup plan for themselves so that when they make these truths known, they announce their intentions or their desires, to really have preparations in place in the possibility that they are not met with support, but are instead met with ridicule and kind of combativeness from those around them, those who have some kind of a say or influence in their life. And we also have the Queen of Swords, so this really talks to the truth, honesty, clarity. And so there's this desire in this person to come clean about some feelings, some long-held feelings that they may have been just kind of stuffing down inside, some kind of truth or clarity that this person wants to deliver to you about perhaps their motivations in the past for choosing not to pursue this connection, or really taking the feelings and considerations of others into account. This also speaks to, again, somebody with that Page of Swords who is really planning this escape, or kind of breaking away from a certain lifestyle, a certain behavior pattern, a belief system, people that they've surrounded themselves with, stepping into that truth and authenticity of who they really are, becoming very honest with themselves about what they want out of life, and making a plan of action to do what is necessary to come into alignment with that. And this can apply to, it feels, to multiple areas of this person's life. This feels like a makeover of their whole life in general, that multiple aspects of the world they have created for themselves are not in alignment with the truth of their soul. But involved in that, incorporated in that, is this dynamic with you, this bond that they feel with you, this very higher love, this very otherworldly kind of love that they feel with you, this compulsion to move in your direction, this feeling of connectedness. And so, this connection is just, it's one example of this person needing to step more into their authenticity, kind of discontinue the life that they have constructed that is in alignment with other people's wishes for them, or the perception of that, and really take the opportunity to listen to the truth, listen to where they are being called, and take action steps in that direction. So in terms of signs, with the wands, we have fire energy, which is Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, and the swords are air energy, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. So I'm going to get a few more oracle cards here to get just a little more clarification about what are their secret thoughts and hidden feelings about you and the connection. Okay, and we've got transition. So that's a great confirmation there of, again, this person's desire to really step out of this old way of being, to transition more into the truth of their soul, the truth of their heart, move towards you, where in the past they may have made this choice to kind of move in the opposite direction. There is this On this card here, we have these snowflakes and these flowers. So this is really speaking to me about moving out of kind of a winter period between the both of you, this kind of cold period where there's no contact, there's a disconnect, this desire to really have this rebirth, to step into that spring energy, to breathe life back into this connection, to speak some truth to you where you may have felt very rejected or very confused about perhaps a very palpable connection that you felt with this person, and then they have made a choice in the past not to act upon that or to move away from that, and it just left you feeling very, very confused. Why, if they, if you're feeling it so strong and they seemingly were feeling it so strong, why were their actions as such to where they wouldn't act upon that? Who wouldn't act upon such wish fulfillment? These might have all been thoughts that have been kind of rolling around within you as you've been in this process of changes occurring within your life also. Maybe even having to disconnect with any kind of attachment to that, disconnecting from any kind of feelings of loss or abandonment or disappointment, to really step toward your highest good, to focus on your abundance, to rebuild your life, to put your efforts and energy into things which you can control in the world around you, rather than kind of dwelling in this period of unknowing and kind of yearning and wishing and wanting this person to change or to see the light or to make a different choice. This feels like something where you have really evolved beyond maybe being stuck in the past and what has occurred with this person, and it's taken great effort to kind of transmute those feelings and those thoughts into acceptance and forward thinking in terms of other possibilities, other things that you wish to cultivate for yourself. And so this person has, again, recognized this at the very least energetically. For a lot of you with the Page of Swords, they have been watching you from afar and have really noted this. They followed the progression of that transition. They are recognizing the shift and the changes which you have made. And it's something that's really, it's inspiring them to do the same. Something that maybe you are out on a social media platform and you're really talking about the journey that you've been through, some kind of wisdom that you are speaking, and it's hitting home to this person. It's making sense. Something is resonating with them. Something has sparked this inspiration within them that they too can change. It has caused them to reflect on some things in their life, including this connection, which have left them with this feeling of dissatisfaction, of inauthenticity, of maybe betraying the truth of their own heart and soul while trying to defer to kind of the opinions or the happiness or the expectations of other people around them. And so this really speaks to this person being in this process of moving beyond that, kind of recreating themselves, and this desire and this interest to transition out of kind of a dormant stage between the both of you, and to really step into a phase of new opportunities between you, rebuilding this connection, seeing what can grow between the two of you now that there have been these shifts and these changes within you as individuals. This feeling that this person has that this time around there's so much more richness to be experienced, that the intensity, the level of experience you had with them before, the level of kind of recognition and resonance, there's this sense within this person that would be intensified at this point because of how much you both have really stepped more into the truth of who you are. You both have really been in this process of kind of letting go of things which kind of only held you back or had passed their expiration date or weren't really in alignment with you. And so by vibrating at a higher level, there's almost this anticipation and excitement within this person of kind of the bliss and the joy that could be experienced now at this point if you two were to come back together. So I'm going to get a few messages from this person's higher self. Group 1, what do they want to say to you? Okay, and they say, you're magical, you inspire. I would not be here today if it were not for your love. So that's a beautiful message, and that is confirming what was coming out even from the beginning of this reading, group 1, that this person is really inspired by you, the change, the transitions that you have made in your own life, the shift that has taken place. It has really been motivation for this person that change is possible for them. It has really been an eye-opening experience that they don't just have to remain stuck in mediocrity, that no matter how old they are, no matter how entrenched in their life they are, change is always possible. It is never too late to make different choices, to course correct. And they also say, building this home with you, looking at the stars above, the lush green garden and the peach blossoms in front of us. I have given you the key. So this is really talking about this desire to, again, step out of some kind of a wintry phase that the two of you have been in, and to experience this rebirth, this blossoming, the sweetness of the connection once again, or even at a more intense and authentic level than was possible before, because of, you know, the cycles that you both were still in your own lives, the things that needed to kind of be let go of and transitioned beyond. And so this is somebody who's really thinking back on the joy they've experienced with you, and they're very aware that because of the evolution that has taken place and is taking place within the both of you as individuals, that there is so much more potential. The sweetness can be even sweeter this next time around, almost this energy of the absence making the heart grow fonder. When this person thinks about the potential of reconciliation with you, it fills them with a joy and a gratitude, almost an appreciation for you and the connection, the dynamic between the both of you in a way that may have not been so obvious to them before. And they also say, in hope, I can have faith. In faith, I have endurance. Fate and destiny will test our love. So this can really speak to those challenges that that person is going through, and that you have also gone through in your life. I feel even that energy of maybe having transitioned beyond just kind of lingering in this, maybe some low vibrational sort of waiting and just really being on edge, really holding your breath, really kind of overly focusing on if this person was going to reach out, when they're going to change, what happened in the past, any cycles that you were stuck in at some point in time with that you've broken out of, that you've really have shifted beyond. It was really a test of faith to do that, a test of trust, that if this relationship is meant to be, this connection is meant to be, then in divine timing, it will happen. And this person has really looked to the trust that it took for you to really sort of redirect your focus onto other things, the abundance which has blossomed based on the intensity of that energy, which you were focusing on, kind of the past and this person's free will decision to move toward or not move toward the connection, and almost this energy, it feels, that was being directed in the wrong direction at one point in time. Kind of, the past can't be changed, but we do have the ability to shape the future as we would like it. And so when that perspective made sense to you, and you really you turned your gaze, you shifted your course, you shifted the trajectory, you shifted what you were focusing your time and your energy and your efforts upon, and to see that blossom and to see that manifest and the fruit of that, it's almost like a test that you passed. You made the right decision there, and this person has really, they've recognized that as well. And so in their own right, this is somebody who, if they have really been focusing on the opinions of others, what would other people think? What would this look like? Again, that's focusing energy and efforts in the wrong direction on things that can't be changed. Regardless of what we do, people are going to think what they want. If you're doing the right thing, if you're doing the wrong thing according to other people's opinions, that's something which is not, it's not relevant. It's not something which can be in our control. We can do everything according to somebody else's else's wishes and it can still not be enough. That's why it's so important to make decisions for ourselves, to act in our own highest good, to act in our own highest resonance, rather than seeking to appease or gain favor from other people through our decisions or our actions or inaction. And so this is something where this is a test that this person is now recognizing, and they feel that they are, at least in the mental space and in their heart space, they've made this decision to choose differently than they have in the past. They've almost passed the test in their life, recognizing that, you know, they are better served by focusing on something else, by prioritizing themselves. They are recognizing the ways in which they may have given their power away in the past to others by deferring to their expectations or what their idea of happiness and success and contentment looks like. And so this is something also with that reference to endurance that was coming up with the Morrigan card here, and the courage and the strength, that this person is really, they're tapping into this connection energetically to kind of get this strength to push on, to persevere, to overcome these challenges, step into that fear, step out into the unknown, make their truth known, create these plans so that when certain things fall away from their life, then, you know, they have steps to kind of rebuild in another direction. This is somebody who's not just going to take that leap off the cliff with no kind of net. And even if that net, that kind of support is, it can even just be trust in the divine plan. That's enough. And it's something which this person is kind of learning to focus upon that. They've learned that lesson that kind of deferring to others, it has just disempowered them. It has just disserved them in the long term. And it's left them with this feeling of deep dissatisfaction. And so this is something which this connection, this bond, this inspiration that they have gained from you, it is really helping them to put things into perspective and to have that confidence that if they are acting in accordance with the call of their soul, then no matter what obstacles present themselves, ultimately they will end up in a better and more satisfied and peaceful place than they were at while they were kind of living in conflict with what their actions versus what their inner truth looked like. And we also have, you are my queen. The intense passion I feel towards you, nothing can compare. So this really ties into that Knight of Wands energy and these feelings that this person may have kind of suppressed or turned away from, denied in the past. And this is really talking to them kind of course correcting in that sense of admitting to those things, admitting to them to themselves, creating a plan of action to really step forward towards this connection, towards that fulfillment, towards that happiness, towards that compatibility, toward the unknown of what this life can look like between the both of you, what you can build together, remembering the sweetness that you once shared, and really feeling that beyond all of that, beyond the experiences of the past and through the challenges and obstacles that you both have gone through and have overcome, have risen beyond, that it's something they feel very compelled, that your journeys are very similar, and that it's a shared experience. It's a shared experience of taking your power back, of stepping into that authenticity, to where going forward, when they imagine their life in the long term, this new life that they are wanting and are in the process of creating for themselves, they are imagining you as the perfect person to be by their side through that process. So I'm going to take a look at this card now for you, group 1 that you chose along with the Mookaite Jasper. And it says Burning Hero. So that's the imagery and the artwork. And just before I read the poem out of the book, I'm just drawn to all of this kind of yellow and gold and red in the card here. And this is really speaking to root chakra, sacral chakra, solar plexus chakra. And this really speaks to this person stepping into their truth, moving beyond fear and moving into this phase of empowerment to create these shifts and changes in their life. In a way in which they desire, for what resonates with them, that truth and authenticity. So, okay, here's the poem. Always feeling your love in every cell of my being. I open my soul, becoming one in your embrace. How rich the moments shared, I savor every one. And even when apart, your love envelops me, with knowing we are complete. Together, like a new day, we are born. So that's a beautiful poem and definitely speaks to that rebirth and that tapping into your energy, into this connection to gain that inspiration and that encouragement to take the steps necessary to create shifts in their life. So I'm going to get a guidance card now from Spirit for you, Group 1, about this situation. Okay, and so here's the artwork on that card. And it says, Our Lady of Quiet Blossoming. Before transformation bears fruit, you must labor with great trust. The seedling has profound courage. It gathers strength in the underground darkness before it is ready for the astonishing feat of cracking open its shell, powerfully pushing down roots and reaching up to break through the soil and find the light. You have such courage, instinct, and power within. Trust in your process and in what you must be. So that is a beautiful message, beautiful guidance from Spirit to continue on this path, continue on this journey, continue with whatever you have redirected your focus to. You are inspiring this person to do the same. You are both stepping into your authenticity, summoning that courage from within to make the changes necessary to allow that which is no longer in resonance or which never was truly in resonance with you to fall away so that the new can be born, so that the call of your soul can be answered, and sort of your purpose and your greatest happiness and fulfillment in this lifetime can be realized, both individually in your lives and ultimately through an evolution in this dynamic, in this connection. So I'm going to get some initials now. This can be first, middle, or last name for you or this person, or it can spell something out, just whatever resonates. Okay, so we have J, F, R, A, H, W, M, and T. So those are your messages, Group 1. I hope they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the video. If you liked the reading, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I also sell handmade jewelry and some divination tools in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking those out as well. So I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, group 2. It shows the aventurine heart. And we'll take a look at this card at the end. These cards have artwork and then there's a poem in the book for each one. So I'll read the poem out of the book, and that can be an extra message from this person's higher self to you. So I'm going to start with some oracle cards to get a feel for what are this person's hidden thoughts and secret feelings about you and the connection for group 2. Okay, so we have dream, manifestation, plan B. So this person could be dreaming about you a lot. You could be dreaming about them. This can also really talk about this person dreaming about another chance with you. Perhaps daydreaming about a future, about seeing you again, about what they would say to you if they had that opportunity. With this image of the mushroom here, this is really speaking to me about with mushrooms or with fungus, usually you know, there's no evidence of them, and then all of a sudden one day they pop up, there they are out of nowhere, where previously there was no kind of trace of them. And so this can speak to this person wanting to really surprise you, wanting to really just kind of pop into your life, thinking about what that would look like, how you would respond, kind of thinking about the best possible outcome in a situation like that. And we also have the Siddha, ancient knowledge, help, dimensional. So this is really talking about this person maybe asking for signs from spirit, praying about this situation, praying for guidance about if they should reach out, if it's the right time to reconnect, what they should do in this situation. If they're dreaming about you or seeing a lot of signs or reminders of you, they could really be asking for guidance, looking into that, researching that, seeing what does this mean. Maybe this person is seeing 1111 a lot as well, and you know, it's to the point where they can't ignore that, and it's caused them to kind of go down this rabbit hole of exploration. Like, what does this mean? Why is this happening? Why am I still seeing this person? What's the purpose of this? This can also really, these two so far kind of allude to maybe this person coming upon information about twin flames or soulmates, finding some resonance with that, finding some information or hearing things, maybe even watching tarot readings, and things are really resonating for your situation, for what they're feeling, experiencing, going through, what they're sensing energetically. And we also have the Oak Guardian, threshold, answers, open mind. So this person is very open-minded and hopeful that a new beginning would be possible with you. With this image of a door here, this really speaks to this person wanting to reach out, knock on that door, reestablish communication, dreaming of that. What would that look like? Hoping for the best when you see them. This feels like very optimistic and positive energy here. This person is thinking very positively about this, feeling very positively about this connection, that whatever might have happened in the past, or however much silence might have occurred between the both of you, there is a sense of them maybe having moved beyond any kind of bitterness or resentment, any kind of confusion or uncertainty, that this is something where they're in a place in their life now where they seem to be more open and receptive to exploring this connection, to experiencing this connection. They're seeking a lot of answers, and with help card on the Siddha card, and then also with the Oak Guardian answers. So they are asking for signs and they're receiving them. They're doing research and they are finding things which resonate. This person seems to be putting together the pieces of the connection, making more sense out of this, exploring even some of the spiritual aspects of this, spiritual aspects of themselves. This definitely feels like somebody who has been on a journey or is very excited to explore this connection and really embark upon that journey to see where you both can go in the future together. And with this reference to an oak, oak trees are symbols of protection and of strength. And so this is really indicating that this person they're feeling very much like they want to cherish and nurture this connection with you, feeling very protective of this, cherishing this bond. The more that they are kind of feeling into this and seeing these signs and what they're learning, they're recognizing this connection as very different from anything they may have experienced before. They're seeing this as very unique. There's this urge to make you feel seen and heard, make you feel safe and comfortable to be yourself, to express this acceptance that they have of you for who you are in totality, all the layers of you. With this symbol here also on this shield, this is reminding me of one of the symbols in Reiki healing. So this person can also be on some kind of a healing journey, some kind of an energy journey. Maybe this person is kind of awakening to some gifts as maybe perceiving energy, being able to kind of work with energy, heal themselves as well in terms of any sort of resistance or uncertainty in the past. The knowledge that they are getting, the answers that they are asking for, and the ones that are coming in, it's providing a lot of healing for them as well, where they may have been, kind of a little overwhelmed about the nature of the connection in the past. This deep intensity, it might have frightened them a little bit. They're starting to feel more at ease with that. They're starting to be more comfortable with that, recognizing that this is a very extraordinary connection, but that it's not something to be feared. It's something which is a source of great strength for them. It's something that can really help to shelter them and nurture them to step into and become that best version of self. They're recognizing you as somebody who can really help them to achieve their goals, somebody who can really be very supportive of them in their journey and exploration and kind of the unfoldment of who they are in their life path. So I'm going to get some tarot now to get some more clarification for you, group 2. What are this person's hidden thoughts and secret feelings about you in the connection? Okay, so we have the King of Swords. So this can speak to this truth, this clarity, these answers that are coming to this person, where they may have been very confused in the past. They are becoming very certain. This can speak to somebody who also really wants to come and deliver some truth to you, deliver some kind of a message, make clear to you maybe that they understand more about this connection, about who you are to them, the significance of one another in each other's lives. And in this card here too, we've got this man and he's sitting in this kind of this library with all these books. So this can talk about maybe this person has been meditating and kind of tapping into the Akashic records, maybe getting some kind of downloads about this connection or about who they are as an individual, their kind of life purpose, and the purpose of all of this, something really having been activated as well within this person through and because of the connection. And this can also really talk about, again, this research that this person is doing, reading things, reading blogs, listening to podcasts, even listening to tarot readings to get kind of a variety of information and points of view in order to structure a very unique perspective for them. Kind of this feeling of taking what works and leaving the rest behind. So kind of quilting together a truth for them based on maybe this patchwork of, kind of a sampling of many different perspectives to kind of generate this very unique truth for them. This can also be somebody who is exploring their spirituality or exploring spirituality in general, maybe even with kind of that reference to Reiki that was coming up, somebody that is really learning some techniques in self-healing, maybe even looking into kind of law of attraction, just different concepts to, expand their relation to the natural world, to their life, kind of tapping into and accessing their spirit team, their angels, God, goddess, source, whatever it is that they are resonating with. Perhaps they are exploring many different paths, and again, just kind of creating this very eclectic and unique sort of patchwork truth for themselves about what this all means for them, who they are, who you are to them, and what the potential and the possibility is and the purpose is for this connection for both of you as individuals, and maybe even for the world at large, kind of this larger purpose or mission that they may be feeling that the both of you have, that you've activated certain things within each other to step more into that, into living that purpose and that truth in this incarnation. And we also have Page of Wands, so this can really speak to good news that this person wants to deliver, this very positive message that they may want to come in with, that they understand, they've learned some things, they recognize who you are. There's this desire to reconnect in a very positive way, to work with you in this connection and through this connection, where in the past they may have been a little confused or even kind of frightened by it and sort of moved away, were very overwhelmed by it. There's a sense of really kind of taking hold of this situation, of really embracing the potential and the energy that is here and that exists between the both of you. And we also have the Ten of Wands. And so this card usually speaks to burdens, but in this deck, I love this imagery of this Ten of Wands in this deck where, these wands, he's fashioned them into a crown. This has become a source of strength for him. These burdens, which, this can be kind of competing ideas, competing interests, or even the intensity of those feelings that at one point in time might have been very overwhelming for this person to kind of shoulder, to carry around this bond. They've since they're seeing things from a higher level with that. They are recognizing this as a sign of strength to them, by having mastered these feelings, mastered these fears, understanding more about this connection and who they are in relation to this, who you are. They are seeing this as something now which is a source of empowerment for them. So that really speaks to, again, this shift to not have to sort of carry this connection around and be really sort of oppressed by the feelings or the confusion or the resistance. But this is somebody who has gladly kind of donned this connection. They are wearing this with pride. This is something, the uniqueness of this, it is something which, they're recognizing how special that is. They're seeing kind of a divine purpose. This is almost feeling to me with this crown, almost this reference to divinity or nobility sort of, and maybe this person kind of stepping more into that king energy or queen energy, the emperor, the empress, just, depending on their gender or whatever polarity of energy they are primarily occupying. But somebody who has really stepped into that role, is stepping into that role, is owning that for themselves, is recognizing you as that counterpart to them also in that capacity. So no longer being burdened by this, but being very empowered by this connection. And we also have the Ten of Swords. This can speak to the end of a cycle of kind of confusion and pain and uncertainty and fear. This person has just kind of given up that resistance and has surrendered. Again, in this card, we've got all these books and this chalkboard with like figures and sigils and glyphs on it. And this can really speak to this research into the esoteric, into spirituality, research into soulmates, into twin flames, into who they are, maybe even some of their psychic gifts that are coming online, these healing gifts, or even just kind of looking within themselves to see who they are in their authenticity. What do they want out of life? Maybe this is somebody who has really been kind of going back to school or learning some new skills, or just kind of formulating a plan of a new way to really to be living their life from this point on. They could be in this point of transition of wanting to create something different. This can also speak to the plans and preparations that they are making, this hope of really creating something of value, of worth, where you both can learn from each other, exchange ideas within this connection, connection. Again, this kind of this ending of this painful cycle. And with the Ten of Swords, the next card then in that series, in that suit, would be the Ace of Swords, which is the card of truth, the Archangel Michael's sword of truth, which cuts through kind of those bindings to fear, those obstacles, those barriers. And so that speaks very much of where this person is at. They are at this point of being very much done fighting this connection. They're ready to take hold of this, take hold of their fate and their destiny in their own hands, to cut through the limitations imposed upon them or that they have imposed upon themselves, to really, admit to how powerful and unique and important this connection is. Speak some truth perhaps even to you about being ready, being willing, being able to really meet you at a level where a lot can blossom out of this connection for the both of you. And we've got the Four of Swords. So this can speak to this rest and reflection period that this person has been in. It may have been silence between the both of you, but in this silence, a lot has been happening. This has been a very necessary period for this person to kind of come to these answers on their own, without sort of pressure or input, to really allow this dialogue to happen with spirit, with their higher self, to allow these downloads to come in. Maybe a lot is happening while this person is in a dream state. You could be meeting with this person in dreams on the astral realm, and this is really just speaking to, also with these swords here pointing to kind of this root chakra. This is speaking to this person becoming more comfortable with who they are, their purpose in this lifetime, becoming very grounded, kind of moving out of this energy of fear and resistance and wanting to ground this energy down, embracing this energy, seizing this energy, and harnessing that to step forth into the life that they are meant to live in this incarnation. And we also have the Nine of Wands. So this can talk about, again, this battle of kind of resistance that has been won. This person is very much, they're learning to kind of navigate the energies, navigate the feelings within them instead of kind of run away from that. There's this shift that is taking place to recognizing this again as a sense of empowerment with this Nine of Wands and the Ten of Wands here. That the battle they are realizing they really were fighting was against themselves, and so they have ceased to make themselves an enemy. They have ceased to kind of make this aspect of themselves the foe, and they are instead embracing this. They are incorporating all of this into who they are. They are strengthened by this. They are wiser because of the information that has come to them or what they have come to know or learn about this connection. And also with these figures here behind this person, this is really speaking to support from the spiritual realm, their spirit team, their spirit guides. Again, these answers that they may have been seeking, and then they are getting this confirmation. They're getting these signs and synchronicities. They could be tapping into or becoming aware of particular spirit guides, particular angels, or even passed on loved ones that have been assisting them through this process. So it's a very beautiful process of surrender that this person is in. It's something I don't feel that they have let you know yet, but they are definitely in this process of kind of planning that, planning on speaking that truth, surrendering any kind of resistance that may have happened in the past, and really wanting to work with this, to work with you, to work with this energy, step into this purpose, to empower, feeling empowered by this and wanting to empower this connection, to revive this connection, to kind of experience the next level of what is possible in it. So in terms of signs, with the Wands energy, we have fire, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, and the swords are air, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. So I'm going to get another oracle card just to get a little more clarification for you, group 2. Okay, and we have power. So that's a great confirmation of what was coming out by this person, feeling very empowered, taking their power back, no longer fighting or resisting themselves, moving into this place of no longer fighting or resisting this connection, recognizing kind of the unique strength and the empowerment that is possible when both of your souls are conjoined, when you are working together toward a larger good goal, toward a larger purpose. With this image here, and she's kind of wearing this crown, and it looks almost like the rays of the sun. And, that's really reminding me, first of all, of the Sun card in tarot. And speaking of a very good omen, this desire to move toward happiness, kind of on the precipice of opening a new and beautiful chapter between the both of you. Somebody who feels very positively about this connection, somebody who's very excited to explore this, to step into that, out of kind of the darkness of silence and out into the light, to speak this truth, deliver this truth, and to hopefully, generate a new beginning with the both of you. But this is also really kind of drawing me back to this Ten of Wands and this crown here, and stepping into that divinity, stepping into that higher self, that more regal energy within them, no longer playing small with their life, but recognizing perhaps a very unique purpose for their incarnation, feeling a call of their soul, a higher calling, something which they are very compelled to do, something which is activating within them and is really making clear the path at this point in time, the next phase in their journey, some way in which they may even be called to help or to kind of mentor others, maybe help others that are struggling along their own path upon their own journey, or something even with this kind of this reference to Reiki here, some kind of a healing path that this person is feeling called to go on, starting first and foremost by healing themselves, to really understanding that, the nature of dis-ease and how to kind of remedy that, and sort of with this intuition and compassion and knowing and perhaps even skills that they are learning, that they are picking up, to really want to carry that forth to help others to move out of a state of kind of ill and malaise into hope and vitality once more. So I'm going to get some messages from this person's higher self for you, group 2. Let's see, what do they have to say? Okay, and they say, I need to see your actions, not hear your words. So this is really, I feel, referencing back to this person asking for signs and receiving those signs, having this intuitive knowing and getting some kind of confirmation that is really signaling to them that the time is now, or it is impending for them to move forward, to act in this connection, to take a step towards you. They're having gone through some pretty significant change, unfolding, illumination within themselves, feeling you energetically, and perhaps even noting from afar the change that you have gone through, the path that you are on, recognizing this alignment. But again, there's this desire to kind of move beyond just feeling energetically into this, to really interact with you, to see you face to face. To create some kind of confirmation of what they are sensing, this knowing, this compulsion that they have towards you, and really feeling that together, the both of you are stronger than you are apart, that there's some kind of a purpose or a goal or a mission that is incorporated into this, that it goes beyond just coming together in a romantic connection for a happily ever after, that's almost like the icing on the cake in sort of a larger purpose that the two of you may have together in this lifetime of helping others, maybe helping others to kind of act upon their goals and dreams, to move out of that stage of just planning and daydreaming and thinking about and creating concrete steps, plans of action, following through on desires to create shifts and change. This could be somebody also who, really wants to do something of a spiritual nature, maybe writing books or creating courses for people, seminars for people, helping them to, really identify and learn their own purpose in this lifetime, to step onto that soul path, tap into their Akashic records, identify some wounds that need to be healed, that they've been tasked to heal in this lifetime, perhaps generational wounds, cycles, that they are the one, or they're being called to be the one to break. All of this feels like work this person has done, and they are feeling that it's very much tied to you. They're seeing similarities in what has gone on in your life up to this point, or the journey that you've been on while you two have been in some kind of a separation. And it's something which there's this desire to come back together, to combine forces, to combine resources, to really share your experiences, the wisdom that you've gained, and to then formulate some kind of a plan or some kind of an outreach that you can help others to kind of pick themselves up out of any kind of low vibration or feelings of despair or hopelessness, to, you know, step into that new potential and create different circumstances for themselves. And they also say, I will always protect you while you dream, while you sleep. So that was coming through with this Four of Swords about you meeting with this person in dreams, meeting on the astral realm, healing each other on the astral realm, having maybe these kind of first tastes of the interaction between each other without the gatekeeper of the ego and pride interfering, that there's a purity to this. And this person, I feel, is very consciously aware of that. They are starting to recognize that it's not by accident that you are meeting with each other. This could be somebody that also maybe sets intentions to meet up with you in the astral realm. They could be kind of experimenting with or learning about astral travel. This could be somebody also who has begun a meditative practice, who is tapping into you, accessing you, meeting with your higher self through meditation. This can also be an invitation to you through this reading to do the same with them at the higher self level, to set that intention to meet with this person in dreams, to kind of open that door to communication and interaction energetically in that aspect of yourselves, kind of as a predecessor to what occurs perhaps in the 3D in the future. And it's something as well where they're almost inviting you to as part of that self-healing process, to maybe work through some things with them, some difficulties, some things you've been holding on to through guided meditations, through even cord cutting meditations, that reference to Archangel Michael and his sword of truth with the Ace of Swords following the Ten of Swords is coming up. So that can be very helpful to do a meditation, call in Archangel Michael and ask him to help you to really cut the cords, not with this person, but with any kind of attachment to negative circumstances that occurred with them in the past. Any kind of sadness or bitterness or resentment, anger, hurt, betrayal that may have happened. And energetically, that can really help to sort of free up the energy between the both of you. It can help to restore some of your peace of mind, to help to elevate your own vibration, which, you know, with your soul, it feels being very entwined with this person. You're very much enmeshed with them. The work that you do on yourself, it will be vibrationally recognized by them. And depending on their level of spiritual awareness and openness, they may be consciously aware of that. They may be able to sense that, and that kind of gives them sort of a clue or some kind of a confirmation that can serve as the answer to, you know, a question for a sign as well. And so you two can kind of co-create with each other on that energetic level, sort of, you know, in proximity and yet at a distance before the kind of 3D vessels come together. This can be something that if they, you know, are not very consciously aware of that, they will still nevertheless feel that, they will sense that. Something will then come up to their awareness that really urges them to take steps necessary to do the work in their own situation, on themselves, on any patterns that they have been tasked to break within themselves, maybe things kind of that have bled over from past lives, or any kind of patterns within their family, their genetic family, their biological family, that they have been the one tasked to kind of break these cycles, break these patterns. And everybody has free will. They can choose to answer that call or not. But the work you do on yourself, it does make that call to this person louder. It urges them. It kind of it motivates them to do something within themselves, to kind of to mirror that, to match that, to respond to that vibration in kind, to do the work on themselves in kind. And again, not with the motivation of, you know, for 3D physical union. That's kind of icing on the cake. But it's really because it feels the both of your souls you're sort of like, you're almost like a tag team. You're sort of like you very much operate in tandem. The work that one does because it really helps to shift or make doorways of change apparent to the other. And so you really do help each other. When one takes action, then the other almost feels this motivation that something needs to change. And it doesn't necessarily need to be the same something, but it's just in some way clearing up some kind of an energy, freeing oneself from some kind of an energetic clog in order to kind of step into that next level of vibration. And they also say, I am fearless as I walk this path. As my love shines bright, my eternal loving spirit guides me. So that can be confirmation again of spirit guides, asking for answers and really receiving them from the universe, from their spirit team about paths to take, what the best choice is, what they should be doing in this lifetime. This speaks to somebody who, you know, has really found their purpose, has taken back their power, has really unfolded in a beautiful way to more of the spiritual side of themselves. This is somebody who, you know, has undergone some kind of a metamorphosis, is in the process of that, is seeing things from a wider perspective. And they are also, you know, in tandem with you and in tandem with this connection. This feels very much like mirroring. The work that you've done on yourself, it has really helped this person, and vice versa, as I was just saying. Kind of the work you're both doing, you're inspiring each other, you're supporting and challenging each other energetically to kind of to have momentum, to not stay stagnant, to not stay stuck, but to actively work to kind of transcend barriers within yourselves. And then ultimately that can lead to the potential to transcend barriers within this connection. And they also say, in hope I can have faith. In faith I have endurance. Fate and destiny will test our love. So this can speak to a series of challenges or cycles, kind of patterns that this person has had to face, maybe some indecision or fear, this unknowing, these kind of obstacles and challenges that they have, you know, really had to reconcile and to overcome, some shadowy aspects of self, some resistance, but that all of this I feel they're recognizing has really been for their highest good, and that it ultimately serves the highest good of the connection, the potential between the both of you, in terms of what's possible, what you can experience together. That all of this is a plan. This kind of these parallel paths that you have been walking. There's been this need to kind of do this. It's similar work and yet very individual. You very much have been in energetic alignment through this process, and this person feels like somebody who is becoming very aware of that as they are, you know, kind of getting these downloads, reading this information, finding this stuff out. They're opening up to kind of the wider scope of the connection, the wider scope of reality than just kind of the third dimension, the very tangible. This is somebody who is becoming aware of and is embracing kind of the etheric and the energetic aspects of reality, of themselves and of the both of you. So I'm going to take a look now at this card that you chose along with the aventurine. And this is the artwork, and it says the communal dance. So just right away before I read the poem, this, you know, speaks beautifully to everything that was coming out in this reading of the two of you, you know, on these parallel paths, your souls very much entwined, very much helping each other, inspiring and challenging each other. Kind of this reference to a dance, sort of like, you know, the ebb and the flow, the give and the take. One leading and the other following, and kind of reversing those roles, and just this beautiful flow of your energies and your souls as you are kind of winding this staircase, this path to ascension, both individually and, you know, ultimately in terms of this melding, this meshing of your souls. So okay, and here's the poem. When I stood in front of you, I knew something was in store. I could feel the excitement of our journey ahead, for I had been that way before. Each person comes into our life with lessons we may see, and in the reflection of that other self is the person we can be. So that's really beautiful and completely ties in with this idea of mirroring and, you know, again, really maybe even triggering each other into identifying some wounds that needed to be healed. some fears that have arisen out of this, these circumstances. It has really been for the purpose of kind of transcending these things, healing these things, and ultimately ascending the connection to the next level. So there's definitely a soul recognition that this person has for you. They've come to some point of understanding about this, the significance of you, of who they are, of who you are, what you both mean to each other, and kind of a larger purpose at play here in this dynamic. So I'm going to get a guidance card from Spirit for you, Group 2, about this situation. Okay, so here's the artwork. And it's Our Lady of Sacred Waters. To cleanse oneself spiritually is to immerse oneself in the sanctuary of divine connection and sacred presence. This weakens the grip of our attachment to emotional pain and strengthens our ability to be emotionally authentic without becoming so overwhelmed by our suffering that we act out and betray our core values or disengage from our spiritual connection. Know that you can process any emotion with dignity and grace. So that's a beautiful message for you, Group 2, and this is really tying back to me to that, what was coming up about connecting with this person through meditations, maybe invoking Archangel Michael to help you in that, to cut some of these cords of attachment to the circumstances that may have occurred with this person in the past, any kind of difficulties. This can also be very relevant for other people in your life, other difficulties that you may have experienced with past love connections, some things in your upbringing, in your family, ways in which you feel maybe society has kind of judged you or oppressed you, any kind of circumstances that were painful or difficult that you've really been holding on to. You're definitely being called to heal the emotional body, to tap into these things. And that is definitely work that can be done at the energetic level, very personally, very privately. It doesn't need to involve reaching out to other people, kind of opening old wounds, knocking on doors that are best left shut. But this is something within yourself. You are tasked at this point in time with really unburdening yourself, freeing yourself so that you can move forth in a lighter fashion, in an unencumbered fashion. There's a sense of burdens that you've been carrying around. You've been holding them long enough. Now is the time to kind of release that, to let that flow away from you, to take the lessons from these experiences and allow yourself to be moved beyond these things. It's not even a process of consciously seeking to let go. It's a process of really consciously seeking to flow beyond, to recognizing these occurrences, what they are, kind of these mile markers in time over your life story in your past, and recognizing that you don't have to live there anymore. That will always be a part of you, but life in a very present sense is a building toward the future. And so at this point in time, these circumstances, or even this work this person is doing on themselves, you may feel very inspired or guided to do this. As you do this work, this also, as I was saying, it really kind of emotionally and energetically sort of sets the tone for this person as well, that, it's safe and it's okay, and now's the time to really do this work, to really, unshoulder those burdens, to kind of leave those behind, to allow yourselves to kind of flow beyond that, to kind of move beyond that, ascend to that higher level, that higher perspective, focus on what you can change, on what you can grow in your life, versus kind of the immutable past, which can only really be accepted for what it is, cherished for the lessons that it provided, the strength which it helped to illuminate, or helped you to realize within yourself to need to overcome that, or even carry around some of this pain or these burdens. But you're at a phase right now in this connection in your life of really being called to kind of move beyond that, set your sights elsewhere. Turn the volume down on some of these narratives, or these stories, or these wounds of the past that may be kind of limiting your enjoyment of the present and your hope for the future. So I'm going to get some initials now. This can be first, middle, or last name for you or this person, or it can spell something out. All right, so we have E, J, O, V, X, S, T, R, L, and H. So those are your messages, group 2. I hope they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the video. If you liked the reading, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I also sell handmade jewelry and some divination tools in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking those out as well. So I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, group 3. You chose the Ocean Jasper. And take a look at this card at the end. These cards have artwork on them and then a poem in the book, which I'll read, so that can be almost like a poem from this person's higher self for you. So I'm going to start off with some oracle cards to get a feel for what are this person's hidden thoughts and secret feelings about you and the connection for group 3. Okay, so we have the Green Woman, feminine, nature, oneness. So this person is seeing you as a very abundant person. They're recognizing how you nurture your dreams, how you have maybe embarked upon this journey of self-love, and you're really taking the time to care for yourself, to nurture yourself. This is someone who really recognizes you as almost this feeling of home. There's this desire and this longingness to move back in your direction, to kind of also nurture and embrace this connection in a way that in the past they may have kind of run from it, pushed it away, been very overwhelmed by the connection, been kind of maybe even a little fearful of commitment and intimacy in general, or even just the intensity of the bond between the both of you. That there's a shift that is taking place within this person to instead want to cherish and build upon and really enjoy the fruits of what is possible of the connection between the both of you. And we also have Fawn, beginnings, willingness, opportunities. So again, this desire to really change course, to move back in the direction of this connection, to foster a new beginning with you, to really work with you, work with this energy between the both of you, to create better circumstances than what you may be currently going through with this person. There's this willingness to compromise that also may have been absent before, where this person could have been very stubborn, very stuck in their ways, stuck in their ideas, perhaps ideas they had about what kind of a partner would be best suited to them, to their lifestyle, what it is that they were prioritizing in their life at that point in time. That there's almost this surrender that has happened, this kind of easing up on that very tight grip that they may have had upon an idea or some kind of a belief system even. And there's this willingness, this interest to kind of invest more in this connection, investigate this connection more, see what potential is there, what can grow from this. Also on this card here, and there's these oak leaves, and oaks are signs of strength and protection. So this can really speak to, again, this desire to kind of nurture this connection, to really, protect and cherish the bond between you, where they may have previously kind of pushed that away or tried to kind of move in another direction. There's a sense of recognizing sanctuary, recognizing this as a feeling of home, a place where they are safe to really be themselves, to really explore their dreams. They're seeing you as somebody who could really help them as well and encourage them to pursue their passions, to pursue their dreams, to not play small with their life. And we also have the Weavers, fate, manifestation, decisions. So there's almost this knowing that this person has, that your paths will cross again. There's this sense of almost an unfinished symphony between the both of you, that where you have left things in the past, that this person feels this is not the end of the story between you. This can also here with this kind of intricate weaving, this really is talking to me about sort of past lives and these ideas that this person may now have of your souls being very intertwined, you having done this dance together many times before, recognizing you as part of their soul tribe, as a kindred spirit, somebody where there's this deep recognition, almost this knowing without even needing to speak words, this familiarity with each other that may have been very instant, this instant chemistry, this instant connection, this sense of deja vu that could also have really played into this connection, synchronicities, serendipities, just all kinds of things, signs, all kinds of things that are really may have been a little overwhelming or confusing for this person at first. It may have been very contrary. They could have been really very practically minded, somebody who was just, looking for a quote unquote ordinary relationship. Nothing extraordinary. They were just, going through the motions of what they had been taught is the definition of success. They had been taught love looks like, and this connection just kind of threw that rule book out of the window. And it's something that, again, as overwhelming as that may have been before, there's a sense of a decision that they had made also in the past to not act upon this connection, not explore this connection, that they have reconsidered this. They've sort of shifted direction. There's this this openness to really exploring this, to see what potential is there. This could be quite some time that has passed since you've last been in contact with this person, and yet your energy pervades them. It permeates their reality in ways. They're reminded of you, they're seeing signs of you, they feel you around them. And it's something to where they've maybe even taken the time to really let that sit with them, let that digest. They've come to some kind of new understanding of that. They may have been kind of irritated or annoyed by that before and tried to push that away. But there's a sense of surrender happening. There's a sense of a larger plan in place, a greater significance to this. This person kind of moving out of the energy of resistance and fight into the energy of acceptance and exploration. So I'm going to get some tarot to get some more clarification for this about you, or for you group, about this for you group 3. What are this person's hidden thoughts and secret feelings about you in the connection? Okay, so we have the Page of Pentacles. So this can really speak to this desire to work on this connection, to embrace this connection, to, you know, also this sense of recognizing you as somebody that can really help them to pursue their dreams, to pursue their passions, somebody who has always been very accepting of this person, very encouraging of this person, very nurturing of this person. With this Page of Pentacles, this also really, to me, is a card of watching, of observation, not just daydreaming, like the Page of Swords can sometimes be, you know, watching from afar, but with this energy of Pentacles, this earth energy, this can be somebody who is actively watching you, actively seeking you out in the material world. They could be Googling you, they could be researching you, they could be checking up to see what you're up to, asking people about you, you know, going to places where they, you know, you like to go, hoping to run into you. Somebody who could be looking back over old photographs, old text messages, old emails, just kind of saturating themselves in that feeling, really planning this approach. Somebody who also could be, you know, on social media, on some kind of a fake profile even. They've gone to that length to, you know, create some kind of cloak for themselves so that they are able to kind of be in your proximity, be in your presence, to really observe you kind of up close and yet hidden. And we've also got the Ace of Pentacles. So again, another confirmation of this offer that they want to bring, this desire to really embrace this connection, to give this connection a chance, to say yes to this connection where in the past they may have said no, to start fresh, to try and build upon this. Something solid and tangible that this person wants to offer you. Not just words of changed behavior or, you know, words of desire, but with this Pentacles energy, this definitely speaks to actions that support that. And we've also got the Four of Wands. So this can definitely be somebody who, you know, sees you again as somebody a lot of stability there, a sense of home, a sense of nurturing. The Four of Wands is also called the 1111 card. So they may be recognizing you as a twin flame, as a soulmate. 1111 could be coming up a lot for them in their reality, these signs that they can no longer ignore. There's something also here, some aspect where, you know, this person is recognizing that things in the past that may have really triggered them, caused them to kind of run from you, run from this connection. They're recognizing how these were in fact kind of these mirrored wounds or aspects of themselves. They were really just running from themselves. So this speaks to someone who is turning around, who's kind of facing their own reflection, facing themselves in the mirror, recognizing this symbiosis between the both of you, this interconnectedness between you, this compatibility. And it's something also I'm getting here with all of this, kind of these papers that are sort of falling, you know, all sort of in a disarray. This could be somebody, as it ties even in with the Page of Pentacles, where of this energy of kind of like in the material world watching. This could be somebody who is, drafting these text messages or these emails, these communications that they want to make to you, but that they're just not satisfied. They haven't gotten the words just right yet. But this can also be with all these books, again, this research, Googling you, looking you up, asking people about you, seeking to get information about you, not in a creepy stalker way, but just, out of a sense of interest, like, where are you in your life right now? What's going on? As this person is trying to kind of formulate and plan this approach to you, they want to know what they're getting into, what they're dealing with. Are you free? Are you available? Are you seeing somebody? What's going on in your life? What do you invest your time and energy in? Have your interests changed? This really feels like this energy of time having passed, maybe several years or even, up to a decade having passed since you have seen this person for a lot of people. And so, there is this need to kind of refamiliarize themselves, to kind of catch up on what they have missed over time with you. Transitions, changes that may have taken place, kind of milestones, accomplishments, the way your life might be very different from the way that it was even before. And I'm also drawn here on this page of Pentacles. There's this little cloak pin in the shape of a spider on her chest, which is really tying into the spider here on the Weaver card, and spiders being kind of these symbols of kind of connecting the dots, putting the pieces together, sort of creating the energetic structure through which the material world is sustained. So this can really speak to this person coming into alignment in themselves and their understanding and their desires of who you are, this knowledge that they are gathering, trying to put those pieces together to sort of put together a narrative, a story that they can then kind of create an approach or a response, not out of a sense of manipulation, but just wanting to present something relevant to you. If last time you were with this person, if you were, you were both young adults or you were teenagers, and now let's say you're in your 30s or 40s, then the approach, the words that are spoken at one point in time, the things that, they may have spoken to you about, even, those things change, those interests change, people evolve, life evolves. And so it's this sense of having to kind of bring together that sort of lighthearted energy from the past into a place of really maturing that, keeping the spirit of that alive, but taking into account just the different obstacles and victories and things that may have transpired in both of your lives, kind of the gains and the losses, in order to, really present something that has the potential, with this Ace of Pentacles, of being of value, being of worth, being of significance, something significant enough to where you'll consider that. It opens the door to more. It's not just, a quick note of hello and then that's that. It's something to where this person, really wants to start fresh, really wants to start on a better page with you than they, you had left things, or where you find yourselves at. And again, with this Four of Wands, the sense of stability, the sense of seeing you as someone that they can emotionally build with, somebody that they have a lot of passion with, still a lot of chemistry and attraction and desire for you, even after all of this time. And we've also got the Five of Swords. So this can speak to this sense of loss and defeat that this person is in. Maybe the more they are learning about you or seeing about you, feeling about you, and the evolution, the change that has taken place. There's a sense of that they have sabotaged themselves by letting this connection go, letting you go, not prioritizing this. There's this desire to remedy that, to move out of that space of defeat and loss. But this also really ties into the planning that is going into how they approach. They want to make sure that it's something of substance, that whatever they have to say to you adds more to your life than, it's something of significance, it's something of relevance. A little bit of fear could be holding this person back, fear of rejection, but nonetheless, this could add into kind of why they're taking their time formulating these responses, this communication, wanting to get it just right, to kind of mitigate that possibility that you'll just dismiss them, it won't be enough, it's something you're not interested in. And we also have the Four of Pentacles. So this can talk about maybe Communication is literally blocked between the both of you. You may have blocked each other on social media, blocked each other's numbers. Again, with that energy of kind of a long time having passed, you know, your phone numbers could have changed, could have moved. You're not as accessible to this person. They don't, you know, they've had to do some research to kind of find out where you are. What's your life like right now? This is somebody who, you know, there's a lot going on behind kind of this wall and this barrier of unknowing. This feels like with all this kind of scene of activity that's happening inside of there. This both speaks to this person behind this wall of silence. There's kind of these books and these jars and these potions and just all this other stuff happening in there. There's a lot happening behind the scenes that you don't see, that you don't recognize about this person, where they're kind of putting all the ingredients together. Creating that perfect blend of sort of the lighthearted energy that you shared in the past and sort of the maturity, the life events that have taken place for the both of you that need to be taken into account, the way that life has kind of shaped you both and molded you into different versions of who you were before, that all of that needs to be incorporated and needs to be taken into consideration to plan and prepare for just the proper way of delivering something of substance, something of value, something of meaning, something that can open the door to the possibility of more. This can also really talk about this person feeling on the outside, recognizing you have this whole other intricate life. There's so much going on with you, so much that has changed, that has transpired about you, and they're feeling it kind of a loss, only being able to just kind of peek and peer in through their observations or what they're asking about you, what they're able to Google about you or see about you on social media. So it feels like a very limited perspective that this person has. There's a lot that's obscured. There's a lot of also on this card here, these two people, and then this, you know, this third person that's kind of holding these swords, these thoughts, these fears. This kind of is like an embodiment of fear, this kind of shadowy, villainous energy within themselves, that they're in this process of kind of fighting that, of sort of kind of waking up out of this stupor. Of just kind of being motionless behind this sort of like this wall or this cave of fear, this unknowing, to kind of set themselves free to take that action. To take their power back from, you know, this villainous, fearful part of them inside that is encouraging them to just remain in the silence, remain in the unknowing, because it might not work out so well. So this person kind of currently fighting a battle within themselves, although they have made this decision to kind of turn around. They're recognizing that it may be kind of a complex process to weave a different circumstance for you, to provide the necessity to provide something of substance so that you can both kind of weave a new fate, a new destiny together. And we also have the Lovers. So beautiful confirmation there again of this kind of this energy of twin flame or soulmate that came through with the Four of Wands, and, you know, this desire to move back in one another's direction, this compatibility that they feel with you, recognizing you as a very significant kindred soul to them, an entwined soul. And so behind the scenes, and, you know, through whatever kind of wall of time that exists, this person is thinking about you a lot. They're reconsidering a decision to move away from you or not act upon this connection in the past. And there's this desire to kind of return to the better times between the both of you, to build upon those. They're seeing you as somebody very compatible with them, things they may have overlooked before, ways in which they may not have been ready to give fully of their heart before. That has shifted, and they are in this stage of trying to formulate a way through all of this, through these obstacles of time and perception and whatever occurred in the past. So in terms of signs with the Pentacles, we have Earth energy, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. The Wands is fire energy, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Swords is air energy, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. And the Lovers is Gemini. So I'm going to get one more oracle card for you, group 3, just to get a little more clarification about this. Okay, and we have nature. So this is really speaking to me with all these flowers in bloom here, this desire that this person has to, again, return to the sweetness between the both of you, to kind of get back to basics in this connection, as complicated as your situation may be and as your lives may be at this point in time, if a lot of time has passed. There's this desire to return to that simplicity. Almost returning this energy of kind of coming back home, kind of moving beyond complications, moving beyond obstacles, beyond whatever sort of structure has been created, and kind of starting from scratch, kind of moving away from things that may have occurred in the past, any kind of difficulties and hurts, to explore some new terrain together, terrain that you may not have explored in a long time, or maybe was never the case. Maybe this is somebody who never really chose to act upon this. But with this reference to the green woman and then also nature, this can really speak to, again, this nurturing, kind of this feeling of home that they are experiencing with you, that it's really coming to the forefront of their attention at this point in time. It's something that they're really thinking about, ways in which to nurture this connection, to feed this connection, to rebuild this connection, to encourage the growth of this connection, kind of resurrect it from the past, or to kind of turn the page and start a new beginning, build fresh, build on solid ground this time with the Ace of Pentacles, where in the past you may have been kind of primarily just sort of dwelling in the realm of fantasy, or, you know, maybe with this reference to fate, they could have felt that, you know, they had some other things they had to accomplish first in their life. You know, it wasn't, they were too young to settle down, or they, again, just had other things they needed to accomplish first in terms of maybe school or something to do with career and finances. But there's a desire to kind of move away from those things, the obstacles or the barriers of the past, these not holding as much sway over this person's heart anymore. The truth and clarity of their heart and the feelings for you with the Lovers here, becoming abundantly clear to this person, and this desire to kind of return to this sense of home and harmony with you. So I'm going to get some messages now from this person's higher self, group 3. See, what do they have to say? Okay, and they say, if I'm to break, I will break into color, my rebirth, my fresh eyes. So that definitely speaks to this desire to rebirth the connection, nurture this connection, start fresh, return to that sweetness between the both of you. This can also talk with this reference to break, kind of breaking beyond those barriers with that Four of Pentacles, anything blocking the two of you, the obstacles or even time which stands in your way. This can also talk about somebody who wants to kind of unblock the lines of communication, to reach out, to reestablish things, to try and move in a new beginning, move in a new direction, one that is more sensitive to each other's needs, one that is more attentive, in a way in which, you know, the connection can be kind of cherished and protected, and you can both work together toward more of the energy of compromise and really building a situation that is kind of suitable and exciting for the both of you. And they also say, you're magical, you inspire. I would not be here today if it were not for your love. So this is really tying in with what they may be gleaning of you when they are researching, when they're asking people about you. There's a sense of amazement at where you are in your life now. It could be very different from the last time you were in contact with this person. And what they're seeing, what they're discovering, they're really liking that. It's compelling them even more in your direction. It's enticing them more and more and making them more and more certain that this decision to change course, to try and change the circumstances between you, that this is advantageous to them and potentially to both of you in the future. And they also say, I will never forget how you touched my life. I had to pick myself up and reshape as this new me. So this can again speak to some things they've really noticed about you. They're recognizing about you the shifts that have taken place within you. It's inspiring them to continue to change their course as well. This can also talk about this person when they come in. They may be very different from what you remember them as. Maybe even just time has aged them, or their priorities are different. What they were surrounding themselves with, or what they were putting priority on in the past, that's kind of fallen away. It's fallen by the wayside. This is somebody who, is in almost doing this 180-degree turn to want to build something different, create a new life for themselves, one that is really, with these references to nature, kind of back to basics, something that is more in resonance with who they are as a soul, the core of who they are, something where love and partnership takes more of a role than it may have in the past. With also these pentacles, this could be somebody who was, again, very kind of career focused, material focused. Love may not have been a priority in the past. They may have accomplished and achieved a lot, but there was a sense of almost isolation with this Four of Pentacles, where they're kind of the king in the castle with all their gold, but then they're in there alone. So there's this sense of, really needing that companionship, wanting that companionship, feeling that something is missing. And so really having to reprioritize, redirect their focus, shift what they have been applying their energies toward, and recognizing what has been missing from their life and what truly matters. And they also say, sometimes in this life, the hard lessons teach us to open our eyes to what we truly should be making space for. So that's a beautiful confirmation of what I was just saying about this person needing to make space in their life for love, that they may have been focused primarily on career, on finances, on success, on stability, accolades, acclaim, achievements, titles, things, the acquisition of things, the creature comforts, but something, and they may have been very successful at that, having attained all of that, having built that empire, that castle where they reign supreme. But there's this sense of, even if they were in another partnership, they were very much alone at the soul level. They weren't really surrounded by anyone who resonated with them, who understood them, the depth and the core of who they are, who really truly wanted the best for them. They could have really been surrounded by, people who were just there out of convenience, very conditional love, almost the sense of being trapped. In this fear of this obligation, or maybe in a relationship that looked really good on paper, or kind of fit the prescription of what they'd been taught love should look like in kind of the ordinary and the regular sense, but that there's still this void within this person. And a shift has taken place and is taking place where they're restructuring that, kind of moving away, with these circles here, sort of breaking these circles, these cycles, these patterns of codependency, or settling for less than they deserve, not operating from a space of authenticity and truth. Shifting that focus to see beyond just appearances, see beyond kind of the practicality of matters, and taking the heart more into consideration. Somebody who's in this process of balancing the head and the heart, and hearing the call and recognizing the call and answering the call of their heart to move back in this direction and to make an offer of love, a practical, solid, stable offer of love to rebuild this connection. Also with this pentacle up here above these two lovers, really this desire to build on solid ground between the both of you, to really give this love the opportunity to germinate in ways in the past that may have been neglected. So let's take a look at this card now that you chose with the Ocean Jasper, group 3. And it says Fire and Ice. So this is really talking to me again about that energy of kind of the head and the heart, balancing that out, coming to that happy medium within themselves, reprioritizing, recognizing what has been missing in their life, what really matters, and what they are best served applying more of their energies toward, answering the call of their heart, wanting to kind of reconcile the past, wanting to kind of smooth out any difficult feelings, difficult emotions, difficult experiences between the both of you. So you can kind of combine forces, or just kind of bridge the gap between the past and the potential of what is yet to come, in this energy of kind of momentum then in the present to move toward a happier future together. So let me see. Okay, so here's the poem. There is a beautiful silence now as I hold your hands and listen to your eyes. Across a span of moments called time, there are no words that say as much, nor walls that could confine the wings of our feelings or the rhythm of our eyes. So that is a beautiful poem, and definitely ties in with what I was picking up about a long time may have passed, and even that reference to a wall with this Four of Pentacles, this wall of time and distance and life experience that may now separate the both of you. That despite all of that and through all of that, this person is recognizing kind of the constancy of your bond, this intertwined, almost like this twin flame, this soulmate dynamic, that they are so compelled to you. And it could be very perplexing to this person why after all this time they're still thinking about you. There's still this interest, or this renewed interest, and it's something which they are answering that call. They're moving toward that, to look beyond what their eyes are seeing, the logical and the practical, to recognize kind of the intangible, the truth of the soul, the truth of their heart, and what they're being called to do and express as it pertains to this connection. So I'm going to get some guidance from Spirit for you, Group 3, about this situation. Okay, so here's the artwork. And it's Our Lady who gives peace. You have been holding on to a deep concern, and I ask you to hand it over to me now. Allow me to offer you a gift in exchange for your devotion and trust. I offer you the gift of peace. Peace that all is now resolved according to my grace. Peace that the material situation is flowing toward perfect completion. My peace is with you now, my beloved. So that's a beautiful message that is just really encouraging you to operate in a stance of trust. Trust that when this person reaches out, they're coming from a very genuine place. What they have to say to you, the offer that is made, the extension that is made, if it's something where you have moved on in your life, you're choosing not to entertain a future with them, or maybe you're with somebody else, your heart now belongs to another. This communication from this person can help provide some closure, perhaps even to a parenthesis in this situation that you didn't know existed. There was this idea of kind of an unfinished symphony between the both of you, some unfinished business. So this offer can lead to, kind of the resolution of the past, so you both can build together towards something more beautiful. At the very least, this can offer resolution of this past period for you. And in ways in which you, again, might not have anticipated, there can be a sense of relief, a sense of vindication, or a sense even of confirmation that what you have felt about this person, what you may have continued to energetically perceive about them, that this is very mutual, this is very much reciprocated, that there is something to this. This is very authentic and genuine. And there was even this kind of reference to past lives. And, this definitely feels like something that no matter what both of you choose to do in this lifetime, you've shared many lifetimes together, and there will be many more to come. And so it's kind of this beautiful and eternal bond that you both share, this kind of ebb and flow. And each lifetime, and in different ways, you are tasked with coming to this place of peace with each other and through each other. Some lifetimes that involves, this 3D physical union and things working out very well. Other lifetimes that involves challenging circumstances where you are then tasked to cultivate that peace within yourself, that acceptance in the larger plan and the way things are, and this knowing that there will be another opportunity again in the future. So regardless of how this transpires for you, there's guidance that peace is on the way to remain in that space of sanctuary within, that It seems you have done an amazing job of cultivating up to this point things that this person is seeing and discovering about you. They're very impressed. They're very happy for you. It's something that is making them feel very, very comforted about the idea of stepping forth. And so that is really the largest takeaway here, is to recognize that within yourself, the ability that you have to come out of all situations and to really make the best of it, to continue to prioritize self-love and self-care, and really doing what's best for you, what feels most comfortable for you and most in alignment with who you are and what you want going forward. So I'm going to get some initials for you now, group 3. This can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it can spell something out, just whatever resonates. Okay, so we have R, E, Y, S, Q, B, C, F, T, I, and K. So those are your messages, group 3. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the video. If you like the reading, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I also sell handmade jewelry and some divination tools in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking those out as well. So I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.